This is Andrew from The Chosen Prime with a quick video review of MP-26 Road Rage, the first female Autobot released in the Masterpiece line. Road Rage is a redeco of Masterpiece tracks, and we'll get some more comparisons in a little bit. In the box, you get a G1 style gun from the toy. You get a little twin cast, and then you get the little laser ram that you can use in her flight mode, as well as some rearview mirrors that she can have. Overall, she's a nice glossy red paint. She's not metallic like tracks, but still a very nice glossy color. She does turn into a Corvette Stingray and rolls quite well. She unfortunately does not come with the flight stand that tracks came with, but she is compatible with it. So we'll go ahead and get to some comparisons. So again, here is Road Rage next to Masterpiece tracks. There are no mold differences between tracks and Road Rage in their vehicle modes, while there are slight differences when we get to robot mode. But as you can see, they both look really nice as representations of Corvette Stingrays in this mode. And you know how Tracks does have a metallic blue paint versus Road Rage has kind of just got a nice glossy red paint to homage the original Diaclone release. But as you can see, they both look really great in their vehicle modes. So the easiest way to get Road Rage into her robot mode is actually go into her flight mode, which then we can show off how that looks. So we come to the underside, we move these blue wings out to the side. And essentially what we need to do is be able to get this back canopy off. The problem is that it tabs in quite well, so I find it helps if you use the wheel to kind of help push up against it to then be able to go ahead and pull this out. Then you can come around and you can go ahead and swivel out her arms. And you want to kind of straighten them out on both sides, and there is like a little hinge here. And essentially what you want to do next is you can kind of see there's two pins here. You want to go ahead and pull the arms out fully so that they snap into place. And then next, this part's kind of interesting. You actually want to take each arm and you want to angle this hinge down and this up, and really you only ever do this solely for the flight mode, but then it'll get it so that the arms kind of get in the right position. Go ahead and rotate the forearm so that the paint is up top and that this intake is this way, and then there's this peg and this hole on her side, which then you can kind of lock into place. So again, you want to rotate so the paint is up top. You want to peg it in. Make sure it's all straight. You want to come into the canopy back here, and it actually helps. You want to get these little blue guns out, kind of skids, and so it actually helps push in her back side here and pull these out. Go ahead and reset the car bit. There's little wings here in this back canopy that you want to go ahead and from the underside here push them out so that she has them when she's flying. And then now we can kind of come in here and we want to come and put the canopy back into place. So we come back here and we sandwich this back down, lock all these tabs back in there. With these little blue guns, you want to kind of rotate them kind of this way so they're little skids. She's flying. Go ahead and reposition the wings so she's like this. And then the final little bit is she does have that little laser ram, and there's two on the one side of this. There's two little peg holes. You want to come in and just kind of push it in like that, and that is her flight mode. She can store her toy accurate gun in flight mode. Essentially all you do here is you flip the handle that would be, so she has this peg up top. There's this single peg hole here in the bottom that the gun will pop into, and so that is her, you know, as she comes in the box. But if you do happen to have Masterpiece tracks and the Masterpiece track stand, you can go ahead and take this peg here, and there's actually a hole on the gun. And so if you want her to be flying, you can do that. So to compare flight modes with tracks, as you can see, the wings that Road Rage comes with is kind of this deep dark blue versus the white, and just overall, you know, kind of nice bit of changes that they did to kind of differentiate her from her mold mate. To get the robot mode, first we go ahead and unpeg this little gun here, remove her weapon from the bottom, and then go ahead and pull out her arms from these pegs so that we can free up the upper torso. We want to come back again and pop off the back canopy so that we can get into it. Go ahead and slide down those little wings. At this point we can go ahead and move the rubber fully up and move these little missile pods to the side, and this will end up being the back of her backpack. Straighten out her arms, so where they were angled here, you want to go ahead and straighten them out. Next, I recommend going ahead and you pull these side panels here, and the way that they actually work is they actually expand, so you can kind of come up and fill this torso in, and there's a peg here and a peg hole in the back that you close down to kind of fill in her torso. So again, on this other side, you flip this up, you unfold it, put it against the side, and it actually helps to have the arms kind of up higher, and again, peg it into her back, and that'll hold in and it's going to secure her back. We can go ahead and rotate the canopy so that we can get to her back. Go ahead and pop open this part of the hood here, which contains her head. So we go ahead and get it enough so that we can kind of flip out her head, and there's her brand new head. Flip out the faction symbol, and then here on her torso, these little white tabs here fit into pieces on her shoulders here at an angle. So you kind of just slide it up and then make sure that it's all lined up, and then those with the arms kind of angled up at the side kind of push in there, and then it'll lock into place. And then finally, for the canopy, what you can do to lock in the canopy is here on each side, there's these tabs here that fit into this slot right here. So it's a secure connection. It doesn't exactly fill it out totally, but it does hold the backpack in nice and straight. Go ahead and pull the arms down, and the way that the hands work is that you will go ahead and fold out, and so this panel is this way, and you rotate it into her forearm, and that'll go ahead and open up her hand, and do the same thing on this side. This is just a pivot hinge. Again, go ahead and rotate this panel in and bring out her hand. We'll go ahead and rotate her waist. Now we need to go ahead and split our legs apart, and in order to do that, there's actually a really kind of tight tab here at the bottom. You kind of need to be a bit careful with it, but it will pull out, so you got to be careful with this a little bit. Next, go ahead, and this is her foot, so go ahead and pull out the side of the car, which will then let you go ahead and release the foot and bring this down on its hinge. And what you want to do is that by swinging this foot forward, you can see there's this black peg right here, and you want to do is you want to make sure that it snaps in and holds securely into her leg right there. Next, go ahead, and this panel here, you want to do is you want to rotate it down and then rotate it forward onto the front of her leg. This part, there's a sliding piece here that'll help fill out her foot, so go ahead and slide it inwards. Go ahead, and now you can go ahead and press in the side of her leg to hold it in place. Come back here, and on the hood you can kind of bring it down to kind of fill out the back. So then we come to the other side again. Go ahead and pull out the side of the car, get the foot and bring it down. Once again, you want to make sure that this little black peg kind of goes and pegs in and locks into place onto her shin. We take this panel, rotate it forward and onto the front of her leg. Take this part here, the front of the car, and you got to rotate it. Push the leg in. Come back here. And there she essentially is transformed. We just need to set her up properly. And again, she does have strong ankle tilts that you can kind of then get her standing up straight. And there is Road Rage in her robot mode. So because Road Rage homages the G1 variant of tracks that came in red, she does come with a G1-esque version of Traxxas gun. Now, it is something to note that there are actually two pegs here for the hand. There's one giant peg and there's a tiny little one that's behind it. And so if you were to normally try to peg it into her hand, it normally wouldn't stick too well. So I recommend is actually opening her fingers all the way so that then you can get ahead and get both tabs into her palm, and that'll make it so that she can fully hold the gun. Her posability is just as good as Traxx. Nice emotive head. You know, her hands and arms can move. She's got nice knee bends and then ankle articulation. So we'll go ahead and we'll move on to some robot mode comparisons. So here's Masterpiece Road Rage with her other Diaclone brethren. As you can see, she works quite well with these recolors from the Masterpiece line, and she would be a great addition to your current Masterpiece collection. Here's Road Rage in her vehicle mode amongst the other Diaclone releases from the Masterpiece line, and as you can see, if you're a fan of all these redecos, Road Rage is a great addition to your collection. Finally, to compare her with her mold mate Trax, here you can actually see there are differences between the two in robot mode. Whereas Trax is kind of get a more squared off upper thigh, Road Rages are a little bit more curvier. And then the top part of the canopy is a little bit different than Trax, and of course the head is a lot more feminine. To show off how different the heads look here, you can kind of see that Road Rage definitely got a little bit more feminine head than what Trax does. Definitely, to me, they look like different characters. They've done just enough with the paint and the stylings to make it so that these two look different. Again, you know, Trax does come with a little blaster, whereas she comes a little twin cast. But then, you know, Trax also comes with, you know, Raoul as well as his own flight stand. So Road Rage is definitely recommended, and so is Trax. So actually, in actuality, both Road Rage and Trax are currently available from the Chosen Prime, and they both come highly recommended. So take care.